Welcome back. It's another episode of Heresy on the drive home. Kieran, plenty of news today. We're going to go over what we've been up to, a massive preview from Games Workshop, plenty of models that can be used in Heresy, and of course, a huge reveal of the brand new Custodes range. How are we doing today, bro?
Good, man. Yeah, it's all about the models today, like massive reveals, but we've also both been quite productive over the last couple of weeks. So lots of hobby getting done and lots of new hobby to do potentially in the future. So yeah, looking forward to chatting about that.
It feels good, right? I think we mentioned last episode that the painting motivation is gaining momentum,
Good start to the
and
year.
it hasn't slowed down. Hasn't slowed down this week. So it's going to be quite a big show. We're going to try and smash through things as much as possible, and cover it in quite a comprehensive way. Now, did you manage to watch the live preview as it was
I
happening?
didn't. No, I actually forgot it was on, but I've seen all the pictures subsequently. Like, it is exciting to watch those live reveals, but they can also be a bit of a muck around. Often they have technical issues, and you're stuck watching all the Blood Bowl and all the Necromunda and all the the Hobbit related
HMR.
releases. Yeah, while you wait for the good stuff. So yeah, not
Well,
this
and
time.
for us, it's usually at a very awkward time in the day. I mean,
Yep.
this time it wasn't too bad. You got to watch it with your morning coffee, which was terrific. Very pleasant surprise to wake up to. But I haven't really gone through what was being revealed since watching it live that one time. So it's going to be great to kind of see the models again, go through them, and also get our reactions to them all. So, Kieran, last week on the show, we discussed the 2-hour Marine Challenge.
Yeah.
So just to recap, do you want to just recap us on what the 2-hour Marine Challenge is and how you went about it all?
So basically, it's from your idea of finished, not perfect. It's about getting things done to a good level, but in a manageable time, that allows you to, maintain some momentum, hobby momentum, despite having limited hobby time, and to actually get things done so you can play games. Because of course, we're not playing with unpainted models, so you got to get things finished. So that's the basic concept. It's about getting things done quickly and as efficiently as possible. So taking shortcuts where you can, and doing things a little bit on the fly, but also trying to set up a plan before you get started. But for me, it was definitely more about making it up as I went along. But that's the general gist. And we decided last time that I'd be doing a Night Lord first, so that's what I've done. And I've got to get onto that White Scar sometime soon. But I've been working on High Elves since I finished that 2-hour model.
Yeah, so the reason you went about painting 2 separate models is because we actually had a tie over on
Yeah,
our
we did. Yeah.
poll on the Powerfist Patreon, where people got to vote and basically vote for what they wanted you to paint the most. So Night Lords and White Scars was a tie, and you agreed to paint both because you're such a good bloke. So let's bring up the results and you can talk about it. Here it is. Here's the 2-hour Night Lord.
Yeah.
I think it looks awesome. It's super effective. How did you find the whole process?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was it definitely kept me very focused. It was a little bit different to your experience, I'm guessing, because I came into it without, a set color scheme in mind. I was creating that color scheme as I went, essentially using colors that I had on my desk, whereas you were working from an established color scheme and just cutting it down and taking shortcuts where you could to reduce the time that it would take to complete. So it was a little bit different for me in that regard. I did have the advantage over you of more drying time because I was taking photographs after every step and writing down my formulas so that I can create a tutorial for the Patreon for this color scheme. Well, for the entire model, I photographed every single step. So I'll be doing a full model tutorial for the Patreon at some stage. So I had that slight advantage over you of being able to, well, pause it. I wasn't, I was working every single second, either taking photos or painting, but I did have a little bit more time in between each of the steps to let things cure, to let things dry a little bit. But yeah, it was a bit of a process. Like I said, the color scheme was a bit of an experiment, and I just pushing myself to hit that 2 hour time limit. I never knew if I was taking too long in a particular part, or if I had more time on my hands, or just how it was going to go. So it was working on the fly was quite enjoyable, but also not stress. Stressful is not the right word, but it definitely kept me focused on minimizing things while still trying to make the model look as effective as possible. Yeah.
I think for a standard marine that it turned out super effective. I mean, it is an unrelenting 2 hours, like you mentioned. It is
Yeah.
non-stop painting. You don't really
Yeah.
get a break, do you?
No.
But the end result really speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's super effective. Still got plenty of color and contrast in there. It's interesting to look at, and you've done it in almost the most efficient way possible. And that's what finished, not perfect, is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. I am happy with it. There's a few things I would change if I had a little bit more time, or if I painted it again. Like, I think I might. I would like to do like a few brighter kind of edge highlights on the most prominent areas of the blue, and I'd like to try and add some lightning, but I just kind of ran out of time to add those things. But apart
Yeah,
from
because
that, I mean,
the freehand skull face wasn't enough. So
oh yeah,
freehand line.
exactly. Yeah, the freehand skull face and like the nostrum and runes on the shoulder plate and the knees and stuff. But other apart from that, like there's not much I would change on it, to be honest. And I've still edge highlighted the bolter, like with the silver. Edge highlighted all of the metallic parts. So like I've still gone further than I necessarily had to create an effective looking model. So I'm
Yeah,
quite happy with it. And like we're going to talk about your despoilers in a second, and once you start doing them in volume, it really further cuts down the time. And this guy took me just under 2 hours, and painting a full squad of 10, you could definitely kind of maximize your efficiency across a whole squad just with the economy of scale and really pump them out. So it
exactly.
was very encouraging to do, actually. Like, kind of gave me a little bit of confidence that once I'm set on that next project, I'll be able to knock it out pretty quickly, and makes it feel like these things are more achievable. So even though I'm not planning to do a Night Lord's army, it was a really great project to do, just to give me that confidence for whatever I decide to work on next. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I took away from it as well. Just
Mm.
the confidence that it gives you. And
Yeah.
it really makes that squad or next model, or that challenge that you get when you have an army project that you're working through consistently. I mean, there's going to be peaks and troughs in your momentum, but just to give you
Hmm.
that level of confidence, then just to approach the next squad or the next batch that you're working on,
Yeah.
make things a lot more enjoyable and a lot easier, I found.
Yeah. Mm.
That
And I,
Night Lord is awesome, Kieran. The tutorial will drop for this on the Patreon, and you will get those little economic and efficiency tips and tricks in that
yeah.
PDF document, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that will be coming in the future. But what also will be coming in the future, Kieran, is the Salamanders scheme. Now, I've
Oh,
had a
about
lot of
time.
requests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been a long time
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
For everyone that's requested the tutorial on the salamander scheme, I'm sorry it's taken so long. The initial model that I wanted to paint for the tutorial didn't really work out as planned, because it wasn't going to be a part of my army anymore. So I just decided to switch gears and change and paint something else. So this has been a long time coming, this tutorial, but off the back of that 2-hour salamander that I did, I ended up finishing the rest of the squad, which were a joy to paint. Now, I made sure that I stuck to the time limit, being 2 hours a model.
Yeah.
So in theory, doing 10 models should be 20-hour limit for the squad.
Yeah.
Using all those same techniques, didn't change up anything from the initial 2-hour marine. I ended up finishing this squad in 17 hours and 35 minutes. So I guess if you add the initial marine to that, you'll end up at 19 hours and 35 minutes. So I made sure to keep a time on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So I knew I could get it under that 2-hour threshold, which I just
Yeah.
managed to do and scrape in because my initial marine was just over the threshold, 2
That's
hours
right.
and
It was
8
2
minutes.
hours and 9 minutes or something, right? So you've
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually
So
cut off a lot of time there.
I
You saved
wanted
yourself
to, I wanted
about 2
to,
hours.
yeah, I wanted to make sure I could get it underneath that 2-hour threshold. Like you
Mhm.
said, the economy of scale really helped things.
Mhm.
But I also think that because it helped things so much, I actually had few more tickets to spend. So I was maybe a little bit more careful with some details or some highlights on
Yeah.
certain places. And I also saved up a couple of hours in the bank. And with the last couple of hours, I ended up doing a little bit of blood effects, a little bit of additional work on the sergeant of the squad, like putting a little bit more effort into his mace weapon,
Yeah.
little details on the base,
Yeah, the skull, I was gonna say, yeah.
the skin for the guy without the helmet and stuff. So
Mm.
um, towards the end there, where I knew I only had a couple of hours left, I could just enjoy the details and just make sure I kept them underneath that 2-hour time limit. So it turned out really great in the end. I'm super, super happy with how the squad turned out as well. There's a bit of a close up there of the
Yeah,
sergeant,
that's sick. Yeah.
and you could probably see the maybe some of the chipping or some of the detail work is a little bit more deliberate, whereas on the first one it was a little bit, or the initial marine, it was quite rushed. So
Yeah.
they were the luxuries I had due to the economy of scale, like you
Yeah.
said. Um, so the whole process of painting the squad was really enjoyable, and every single step I've photographed and documented as well. So if you are a member on the Patreon, keep your eyes out for the Salamander scheme in a tutorial PDF that will be coming very, very soon.
Very cool, man. That's so cool. And you can see like, yeah, you have put in like more detail on that mace, for example. Like you've definitely kind of taken it to a level kind of further than the original test marine. And that's still with like almost a 2 hour saving like across the squad. So,
A
you know,
buffer, right?
you've
Yeah.
added a bunch of details that you hadn't done before. Like, you know, painting like that skin would have taken like a lot of time. Painting, you know, even just the little details like the extra skull on the base, like takes a bit of time. And you know, slows down your basing process for the pigments and all those kind of things as well. So yeah, you've actually saved a lot of time through the economy of scale. So that's really encouraging, I think. Like makes me even feel like, you know, like despite how quick I knocked out that marine, like knocking out a 10-man squad would be so much more efficient. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
And
and
it,
it was
you know,
great.
it's
Like, I don't have sorry, keep going, cut you off.
no, no, no. I was just going to say it's like a vindication of your process, right? It's what we
Mm.
expected, but it's kind of almost better than I expected in a way. So it's just you know, really encouraging to see that, you know,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
worked out the way we
wrapped
kind of
with
expected.
wrapped with it. I mean, they're not the I wouldn't say it's, my best job ever, but for models that,
They look fucking great.
you know,
Yeah,
have a toughness 4 in 1 wound, and they're gonna die to absolutely everything on the board, that's perfectly fine. So,
yeah,
yeah, the motivation levels are very, very high now, and, I'm just gonna roll straight into the next squad. I mean, I don't
yeah.
have
Hell
all
yeah.
the painting time in the world just due to real life, and that's probably, very similar to most people out there. we
Yeah.
paint a lot less than what we'd actually like.
Yeah.
But to get a squad done in under 20 hours, I think from start to finish was only about 2 weeks worth of hobby sessions.
Hmm.
So if you could crank out a unit every 2 weeks, I think that's pretty good.
That's very good. Yeah. And once you're like into a project properly, like a full squad of Marines, like you're locked in and you know what you need to do the next day in the next session. There's no kind of like
Mm,
thinking about what needs to happen. You know what needs to happen because it's in a production line. It's all kind of laid out before you, and especially when you've done that test marine previously, like it just the efficiency like is off the charts, but also the motivation because there's no dithering, there's no like thinking about things twice. You know what to do and you can get it done quickly. So it's so important to keep up that momentum.
it's great. So it means I'm just going to roll straight into the next squad. So I'm going to start them this week as well.
What's the next squad?
I'm going to work on 10 adherents for the Sallies. I promised I'd get them done before I painted anything new. So I'm going
Yeah,
to
very cool.
stick to my word and I'm going to get
Yeah,
them done.
hell yeah.
Again,
Yeah, the guys.
still gonna try and get them underneath that threshold. I mean, there are gonna
Mm,
be some extra bits and extra details on them to make them look a
yeah,
little bit more distinguished. But I'm
yeah.
hoping with a slightly alternative scheme to them, I might actually save a lot of time in the base coding stage, which will give me
Okay.
more time to work on those details.
The combi weapons and stuff. Yeah, cool.
Yes.
That's
So,
awesome.
hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks' time, I'll be able to show them off as well.
Get some whips up on the Patreon. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Now, one more bit of hobby before we hit our Games Workshop preview news. Kieran, last year we both participated in a Secret Santa model exchange.
Hmm.
This year, around Christmas time, you put your hand up to do it again with a bunch of friends that live all around the world.
Yep.
So, would you like to speak to the Secret Santa for this year?
Yeah. So this is always a bit of fun. I really enjoy doing it. This year I got Linus, who is Mossberg Minis on Instagram. He has got several fantastic 30k armies, particularly his Night Lords and his Sons of Horus are amazing. That's what he's working on at the moment, the Sons of Horus. So when I got him, I was super happy because he and I chat about Night Lords Sons of Horus fairly regularly. I'm really inspired by his army and the work he's doing at the moment. He's just completed a couple of Predators and they look absolutely amazing. So when I got Linus, I was pretty excited. I originally kind of planned to do the Dark Emissary for him. It's a kind of fairly generic Sons of Horus character that's really cool, but I also ordered a couple of other Sons of Horus bits at the same time just for myself to paint up because I'm Sons of Horus curious. Um, and then when I got the actual models in hand, I was blown away by how nice Horus Aximand was. So in the end, I painted up Horace Aximand and I've posted that off to Linus. I didn't want to post it; I wanted to keep it. To be fair, at the end, because I was quite happy with how it looked. But here he is. He's actually a really nice
Awesome.
model. Like the sculpt on the head is so good. I did a little minor conversion work on him. It was just really to remove a few details. I thought he had a little bit too much detail on him. Bit of
Yep.
filigree on the shield. I thought it was a little bit too busy. He also had it on his shoulder plates and on his legs, so I just trimmed that off. On the shields, I replaced it with some Chthonian gang markings, which I thought could have suited him a bit better. But he was a lot of fun to paint. I tried to match Linus's scheme as closely as I could. I felt like it wasn't quite blue enough
Mm.
when I finished it off. But now I've seen a photo of it next to Linus's models, and I feel like it's bluer than his models. So who knows? But yeah, I think it's a pretty close match. I think the base matches pretty well as well. So really happy with how it turned out. Tried to go for a very kind of raw red kind of skin look on the face, like he's had
Yeah.
some sin skins sprayed across his skin face, or it's still kind of raw from where it was slashed off by I think it
Yeah.
was Hibu Khan. Really, really happy with how that turned out. It's a fantastic sculpt as well. Really, really nice.
I my initial reaction to seeing this model when it got revealed was like, there's way too much noise and stuff going on.
Mhm.
Um, the pose felt a little bit uninspired, I thought, and the shield was
Yeah,
very distracting.
yeah,
I caught up with you over the break, and you showed me a work in progress of this, and I was very, very impressed with the shape and volumes on the body, and the
mhm,
shield and stuff. And I think
yeah,
especially the gold, I think that's probably my favorite part on the gold on the shield.
yeah,
Um, it's got a lot of depth to it, and it's not as garish as the box art version. It actually
yeah,
works really well, and
yeah.
it looks sinister.
Yeah, we had a bit of a conversation the other week after the episode about the gold on some of the old dark elves and how it's very distracting in how bright
Yes.
it is, and I feel like that's the same with a lot of the studio Sons of Horus models. It's so bright and punchy that it kind of distracts from the rest of the model, and you kind of it hits you in the eyes, and that's all you kind of see. I wanted to definitely tone it back a little bit to try and copy Linus's gold. So I actually painted it slightly differently to how I would usually paint gold. Used a few different paints, a few different colors. It doesn't have the usual kind of green that I put into my golds. It's more
Yep.
blacks and browns. So it's more kind of I suppose less of a kind of an aged gold and more kind of just like a dulled gold. So I'm really really happy with how it turned out in the end. But I definitely feel like yeah, that kind of definitely kind of makes the model a little bit more kind of subdued than the official kind of paint job does. I also had a lot of fun with the cloak,
Mm.
painting up the transfer on there. I did leave the filigree on the cloak just because I felt like it would be too difficult to replace, and I didn't have something suitable to replace it with. So I've left it on there. But otherwise, yeah, really really happy with how it turned out, and I'm quite Sons of Horus inspired now. So
Oh,
yeah,
here we go. Turn it up.
yeah, might be leaning that way at the moment, but yeah,
I
we
love
might
the
have a
red
chat.
glaze over the decal too. It works terrific with the
Cheers, bro.
folds in the cloak. It looks really
Yeah,
integrated. Like, it looks like it's part of the cloak, not just stuck on like a
yeah,
sticker. Almost like,
yeah.
it's been embroidered on or something.
hmm I know you've always like painted over transfers, or for, at least for a long time, and it's always
Yeah.
something that's kind of intimidated me a little bit. But I find that on the cloaks, just having the natural folds to follow makes it a lot more kind of intuitive and easier to follow and to trace around. So I've definitely kind of recently started painting all the transfers I put on cloaks now, and I think it kind of really kind of adds a lot. It ties it into the model, like you said, makes it look natural, and it just it makes the folds of the cloak, look more realistic as well. So I had a lot of fun painting this guy up.
Yeah, he looks amazing. I'm sure Linus is wrapped with him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is. So yeah, really happy that Linus likes him. He's shown me a quick picture of him alongside his other guys, but I'm waiting to see a close-up photo in the photo booth to see how he looks alongside Linus's other models. But yep, hopefully Linus enjoys him and he can sit proudly on the shelf with the rest of the Sons of Horus.
Amazing, amazing. Hey, Kieran,
Mm.
straight out of nowhere, like Randy Orton, a model from the past. You won't believe what it is. Boom.
You got me thinking
Angron
now.
Transfigured
Oh.
is back a year after that we've seen him.
Yeah, like a full year, pretty much. Yeah, mate.
I think it was. So this guy's
I was
been
starting to
lost in the
worry.
warp. I don't know where he's been.
I was starting to wonder if it'd ever be released. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on there. Um, what do you think of this guy?
Um, I think he's busy. I
Hmm.
like him. He's just a little bit. He's maybe 5% too busy. And
Yeah,
what I mean by that is there's a lot going on. There's a lot of detail, and I think this is what a lot of the Primark sculpts suffer from in general
yeah,
across the board. Um, a lot of them have so much detail and they're so ostentatious that depending on how they're painted, can make parts look quite distracting, like you said with Horace Axeman model too. So, I mean, you remove some detail on him, and he looks a lot more structured and unified, and you get majority of that sort of army scheme come out with the model. I know with the Magnus, the red that I painted, I removed a lot of detail on his armor, and I also changed the lapels and stuff that he had, and took away a lot of the sculpted detail.
You did the same on your
which ended
Guilliman.
up giving the model a more unified look. So I'm a big fan of this model. I think I love the head. I think that the face is awesome. I think maybe if 5% of those spikes were selectively removed, he would just look a little bit more refined. But that's kind of my thoughts. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely not on the same level as Demon Fulgrim, that's for sure. Like, it's just, yeah, like you said, there's a lot going on there. Like, so many skulls, so many spikes, and the weapons themselves have so much detail on them that there's no part of them that really kind of looks like a blade. They've just got so much kind of organic detail going on. Whereas, like, Demon Fulgrim has, like, definite kind of demonic elements in his weapons, and it's clear to see that they're warped and tainted. But yeah, Angron's here are just so insane. Like, the detail is fantastic. It's just it's
Yeah,
hard to look at the model. It's hard
yeah.
to see what's going on. And, like, to be fair, I'm actually a big fan of the 40k Angron. Like, I think that might be a bit heretical to say, but
Mm,
he he kind of matches the old Angron artwork from Armageddon
yeah. Well, they
fame.
couldn't
So
really do the same thing, could they?
they couldn't
Because
do the
they're
same
so
thing. Yeah,
adamant about keeping the games separated from one another. Like, I don't think they could
yeah,
do the same job twice.
yeah, yeah.
This was a
And
different
obviously, like,
assignment. For sure.
the detail on this guy's executed like to another level. But
Yeah.
I feel like I actually prefer the 40k one, like, with some
Mm,
minor alterations. But it's definitely a sick model. I've written a couple of army lists actually with him in there, so that'd be a bit of
mm,
fun. But yeah, a great for him to come out. We'll see how he goes. Hopefully, he's a bit more sturdy than Demon Fulgrim. I think he probably is. He just doesn't have that awkward snake body that's really difficult to pin. This guy will be a
yeah.
bit easier to assemble. Obviously, the wings are going to still be an
Yeah.
issue, but I think he'll be a bit more game friendly than Fulgrim for sure.
It's going to be great to see what some people in the community do with this model,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the different approaches or paint jobs
yeah.
that they'll use on him as well. It'll be great. So yeah, awesome to see him come out. He's been lost in the warp for some time. I don't know whether that is a release schedule issue or a more logistical production style
Yeah,
issue. Maybe, I mean, we know Games Workshop is slowly phasing out resin kits. This is probably going to be, dare say, like the last resin kit from Forge World / Specialist Games, whatever they're called now.
for a
I'd probably
Primarch at
hedge
least.
my bets on this maybe being the last one. So it's going to be interesting to see what follows this.
Hmm.
Got a feeling it might be plastic.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Hopefully,
That's
hopefully people do pick it up and we get to see what the community does with it. Hopefully, the huge kind of lag in the release doesn't kill people's excitement for this model, and we do actually get to see it around the place.
absolutely. All right, Kieran, it's now time to move on to the main part of the show, the 2026 New Year's preview from G Dubs. Now, there were a bunch of reveals, lots of 40k, some that we won't speak about just because it's probably not all too relevant to the Heresy
Hmm.
sphere. Like you mentioned, we had Blood Bowl and stuff, and AOS featured as well.
Yeah,
But the main Heresy, the first Heresy item off the agenda is the Mailed Fist. So we've more tanks. are coming to Heresy. Let's bring up the article. I'll just quickly share my screen here and pop it on the stage. Make sure it's all working. Thank you very much, StreamYard. Here we go. Tanks
Yeah,
galore. We've got the glaive
got the glaive.
coming out in
Now you,
plastic. This is a fan favorite. The glaive is a
yeah,
fan favorite. It is my favorite super heavy. I've already painted the resin version, which I
yeah,
loved doing. I
yeah,
think the plastic version, now that we've seen the plastic fell blade, the plastic version of the glaive looks a lot more familiar to the old glaive, the old resin glaive, rather than sort of like that first initial change to the fell blade.
yeah,
I've got a feeling they changed the proportions and the ammo box of the new plastic fell blade that made it look a little bit unbalanced compared to the resin one. But I think this one feels a lot more like the traditional glaive that we know. How do you feel about it, Kieran?
Well, I was just going to ask you that because my first impression was that it looks a bit more familiar. I wasn't sure if
Mm,
that was simply because I've seen the fell blade now, and I've kind of, my memory box of the super heavy has been updated to include that new design, or if this one actually was kind of, truer to the original kind of resin one. You've painted one up. Is that what you kind of feel about it? That it is closer to the
yeah, I
original
think so.
design?
I mean, you've got that little housing sort of section above the main gun. That looks a little bit larger than what it is on the resin version.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if it was smaller. Yeah, so I'm not too sure on that. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it looks a little bit larger.
yeah,
And then again, like these things are really hard to tell from a Games Workshop photo. We know that a Games Workshop photo isn't always the best representation of what a model looks like in real
yeah,
life.
yeah,
Um, but hey, it's here. I think the paint job on this is actually quality. I'm looking at the some
yeah.
of the battle damage and scratches like on this
Yeah, it's really nice.
section of the turret now, and it's really nice. I think the paint job on this is actually better than what they did on the fell blade.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And it also doesn't have the strange looking demolisher cannon in the hull, and
Yes,
I think that kind of definitely makes it look closer to the original as well.
yes, great point. Yes,
Yeah,
hadn't thought about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm glad it's here. We need more of these sort of Felglaive and Falchion-esque super heavies represented on the board.
yeah,
And the fact that this is plastic, the fan favorite glaive,
yeah,
is only a great thing. So I mean, I'm a little bit sad the rules aren't slightly better on it.
yeah,
Um, however, I'm sure players out there can make it work in their list.
yeah. Very
We
cool.
got a bit of a
Absolute
side
classic.
profile as well. It looks mean. It looks cool.
It does. It does. Yeah,
And straight out of nowhere is a whirlwind missile tank.
yeah,
Now, was the whirlwind in the legacies previous to this?
yeah. I think it was like there was a type of whirlwind. Was it the Hyperius in one
Mm.
of the expansions in third edition? But in second edition, the Whirlwind was definitely a legacy unit. Yeah,
Which is interesting, right? We're getting a legacy unit coming back as a mainline release,
yeah, yeah,
which starts to make you think about what may be possible in the future moving forward.
yeah.
I think this is probably a little bit Marmite for some people, Kieran. I've got a
Mm.
feeling that you might feel completely different to me about this tank.
Okay. How do you feel about it?
I like it. I think it's cute. The launcher looks sick.
Yeah,
What do you
um,
think?
yeah. I think we do feel a
I'm
little
waiting
bit
for you to
differently
say
about it.
I hate it, bro.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm very indifferent about it. I think the launcher, like from the side and the back, looks great. It's classic. It matches the
Yes.
style of the rocket launchers on the Deradeo. So it's it fits, and the Cyclones on the Javelins. So it matches that already established design aesthetic. The actual warheads on the front look strange in those recessed kind of tubes that they're sitting in. I feel like if it was like a more prominent kind of warhead, more in the style of the Aeolus on the Derideo, I think that'll probably look better. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's a huge bloody launcher on a small little tank. But yeah, I don't hate it. I'm just not that excited about it. But I think yeah, it's just the warheads on the front that are a little bit strange to me. Although yeah, it does have different warhead ammunition available to it. I think it said.
Well, this was going to be my next thing, right?
So will there be different options maybe
Yeah,
on
well,
the model?
I can't find it in this. Oh, here it is, right here in this article here.
Yeah,
The sophisticated range finding and targeting auspexes mounted to the launcher allow multiple different kinds of munitions to be loaded and fired independently, from standard high explosives to incendiary Pyrax rounds, which is something that we haven't really had on a Whirlwind before. So it looks like it's going to get expanded rules. It looks like, or seems like, there may be different missiles to put in the Whirlwind from a modeling perspective as well.
yeah,
So I'm actually quite excited about the Whirlwind. I love my classic Warhammer, and this is great. I feel compelled to buy one, even if it does sit in my box of shame.
yeah, yeah. No, it looks cool.
Alongside this, of course, is the Journal Tactica coming out as well, which is Mailed Fist. It looks like it's going to include some more missions in it as well, which is a great
Yeah,
thing. We need more missions in Heresy. We've been over this before. And it's going to cover things like the new Whirlwind and whatnot in there too. So
interesting. I
only a
wonder.
good thing. More things coming into plastic, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. I wonder. I haven't read what it actually said about the that new book, but I wonder if it will have new rules for the glaive, because of course it's going to have new rules for the whirlwind in there. I wonder if the glaive might get
Well,
something, but I doubt it. But I would, maybe.
seems to include new Leviathan missions designed to accommodate vast numbers of vehicles in asymmetric clashes, with support for chaotic multiplayer battles that pitch everyone's armored squadrons against each other. It's full of in-depth lore about the creation and organization of the super heavy fleets fielded by Legiones Astartes, culminating in new exemplary battles that allow you to refight notorious vehicle-heavy engagements like the Siege of Portresh. I don't know anything about the Siege of Portresh. Is that new?
I'm not sure, but that sounds cool. That sounds like there might be a way to take an all tank army now, where at the moment there isn't.
Mm.
You need to get you know, you need those command HQs to unlock units. So perhaps there'll be a command vehicle, which would be fantastic to see, because obviously we had that in first and second edition, and we've been missing it in third edition. So that'd be a good addition to the game, I reckon.
I'm just thinking about Iron Warriors Talon based force. That would be amazing.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, smashing up against some solar tanks. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Now, the next thing that dropped, Kieran, is to
Yep.
some people quite a treasure trove
Yeah.
of models.
Yeah.
Now, if we bring this article up right now, we have the brand new Red Corsairs range that a lot of Heresy players are very, very, very excited about. So we've got Huron and his cronies there. We probably shouldn't dwell on them too much, because I think what Heresy players are most excited about are some of these Raider models.
Yeah.
Kieran, how do you feel about these Raiders and their possible integration into the Heresy sphere?
So I like bits about these models, but it's the same issue I have with a lot of the new Space Marine models. I think the poses are fucking terrible. Like they don't work. They look unnatural and awkward, especially the way they pose legs on Marines these days with their kind of feet kind of turned in at strange angles. Like that guy with the sword there, like why is his left foot angled in like that instead of away from his body, the way he's standing? Just a bit strange. Obviously, I'm not a fan of the shoulder plates either, but they're easy fixes, right? And the rest of the models can easily be used, like for Sons of Horus. They make awesome Reavers. They'd be great for Night Lords. They'd be great for like Traitor Emperor's Children that haven't gone like as chaosy as like the proper actual 40k Emperor's Children kits are. They'd be useful for a lot of different factions, I reckon. It's just some of them, you got to just be selective with the bits you use, but there's a lot in there to like, and it's that really good kind of point where they haven't gone full like traditional Chaos Space Marine with stars and arrows and all that all over them.
Yes.
I think that could be really useful. Like they've done that weird kind of like curved knee plate kind of aspect to the Mark 7 the Mark 6 style legs, which I hate, but apart from that, like they're pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, I mean, not having the spikes and the dags hanging off the trim and sort of having to remove them in order to de-chaosify a model
Hmm.
is a massive win here for people who play traders, I think.
Yeah,
I think this would equally work for word bearers,
yeah,
and
yep, absolutely.
even black shields.
Yeah, 100%. That's what a lot of people were saying. I think like I'll have to get some of these models just to see what I can do with them. But yeah, the posing does kind of tick me off a little bit. But there are so many good details on there. I just feel like they're kind of on an awkwardly kind of positioned mannequin. But apart from that, there's a lot to work with. And like even if you don't use like the whole model, there's looks like there's a whole bunch of really interesting heads, different weapons, like that bionic arm with the bolt pistol looks really sick. Like there aren't enough bionics on Space Marines.
Yes.
So yeah, love all those kind of details. I'll definitely be getting some to see what I can do with them. Yeah.
Or perfect for like scouring era traders, right?
Yeah. Yeah. On the run,
Scouring
ragtag.
era,
Yeah.
Sons of Horus on the run, exactly.
Mhm.
Cobbling together as many bits of war gear and armor and stuff they could find to, repair their broken bodies or whatnot on the run,
Oh, bro.
getting pursued by loyalists.
13th Company Space Wolves, mate. Woo.
That's initially what I saw when I looked at
Oh
these.
my
I was like,
god.
"Oh,
Yeah.
take me back to 4th edition."
Eye of Terror. Yeah.
These look like 13th Company.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
Yeah, paint them gray, and then anything with trim on it, is armor taken
Bro, Chaos
from
Plate. Yeah.
Chaos Marines, exactly. So these would
Mm.
go amazingly for some 13th Company. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Now, I quite like the captain here. Not so much the grinning pirate sword version on the top here, but this one with the mace and the Mark 7 helmet, he looks savage. I love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's probably my favorite model of the whole Red Corsairs release, including Huron.
Yeah. No, he's cool. Um, the legs still annoy me a little bit, but apart from that, he's really tasty.
If they annoyed you that much, I'm sure you could swap them out or change them for something different. I mean, all these models
Oh
are
no, they
plastic these days,
they
so.
just need a slight twist out, so not even that much work. Yeah.
And this looks like new money for old rope, classic G
Yeah.
dubs. We just got some
They're just
standard Chaos
standard
Space
as
Marines here with
yeah
a pretty modest
upgrades.
sort of
Yeah.
upgrade pack there. So
Yeah.
I could see a lot of these models getting integrated into the Heresy sphere upon their release,
Mm.
which is very exciting to have
Yeah.
sort of that aesthetic shift with people's armies as well, and it would go sort of move concurrently with where we're headed with the Heresy timeline right now. I mean, we've had our first scouring novel drop, so to start seeing some scouring armies out there will be very exciting. So maybe
really
if
good
you
point,
are thinking about using these Red Corsairs for something, let us know what your hobby ideas are for them. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. I feel like of all releases we've had recently, this one has the most potential to be like the most different kind of like different Space Marine factions from all sides of everything. So I think there's quite a lot of exciting potential for those models in the Heresy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, the main preview, the biggest preview of the day with a brand new Custodes, a full rework of the range coming out very soon. Let's have a look through them, Kieran. I'll bring this up on screen now so we can all see.
Yeah.
These were anticipated. I mean, they had alluded to and even previewed a spear tip. What the extent of what the release was going to be was kept kind of well under wraps, I think. And for them to come out and drop a whole new range of redesigned infantry
Yeah.
speaks to really how invested they are in Heresy, I think. I mean, we did see a full, a slight reworking and redesign of the Solar, right? But they were really, really committed in that Solar Auxilia release to have a fully fledged out range with a design language that was spread across the whole force, not just the new section of what we're releasing to mix with the
Yeah.
old section of what we've got. We're going to redo everything, and we're going to release it all. So I'm really sort of grateful for the whole chips in approach, because if we just got like a new Heteron Guard squad with new proportions and new weapons and stuff like that, and you sort of put them up against the existing infantry that we're already using for the Custodes, I think it would be a little bit discordant. So I'm really glad that we've got everything re-released. So what are your thoughts on these brand new Sentinel Guard, Kieran?
Oh fuck, man! My first thought was that that Vexilla is going to be perfect for my Emperor's children. So good, but yeah, no, I really like them. It's a massive upgrade. My only slight nitpick with them is the legs. They look a little bit kind of well, they're lacking ornamentation compared to the rest of the model, and they look a little bit kind of chunky and a bit too simple. I like them to be a little bit fancier, I suppose. Like even if they didn't have to cover them in filigree, maybe just some sharper lines, or just make them look a little bit more kind of less
Yes, maybe
Age of Sigmar.
make them look a little bit more sharper lines, archaic in their design. Maybe redesign that foot so it's a little bit more pointed.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a good point.
definitely. But
I completely agree with that.
but otherwise, yeah, like the new weapons look amazing. Most of the new helmets look amazing. There's a couple of the face grills that I'm not super keen on, but in general, yeah, it's a huge upgrade. Like I was never a massive fan of the old plastic Custodes. I think there are a couple of good models in that squad, but there are a couple of shockers as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, these guys are miles and miles better than the old ones. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm leaning towards the Sons of Horus at the moment, and the Red Corsairs definitely kind of push me further down that path. But then these guys come along, and I'm like, oh, I kind of need to do a loyalist force so I can do like some Custodes allies. So yeah, I definitely, I reckon I'll definitely get a few of these guys to paint up for sure.
I love like the long top knot and the huge long plume as well. That really harkens
Yeah.
back to like the old Heresy visions and card game artwork.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they're really
big
cool.
fan. I mean, like I was a fan of the old heads as well, but just having that sort of like more like that, just the more pronounced and the longer plume on the top there, it just makes them feel a lot different. I'm not the biggest fan, however, of the new blade shape on the Sentinel guard weapon. I think it looks a little bit elvish. Would you say like it has that sort of like leaf design to it? I mean, it's probably something that can
Yeah.
get changed easily enough.
I feel like that's
Um,
okay. I just feel like the angle on it is slightly kind of down. Like if the tip is kind of lower than the angle on the bolt gun. Like I'm not sure.
yeah,
Like it's hard to
right.
tell in those photos, but it just it looks like it's drooping slightly. Whereas I prefer like just to be a straight kind of blade. But yeah, I don't necessarily mind that. I think like if once they're painted up with some nice highly contrasting metallics, I think they'll look pretty good.
Exactly. I think we might hold reservation on the spears until we have the models in the hand to have a look at.
Yeah.
Proportions wise, I think they're a lot better. They feel less He-Man and more slender, especially across the chest and the shoulders.
Hmm.
And these new shields are amazing.
Yeah. They look very heavy, like from the waist down. And like part
Mm,
of that is like the robes that they've given them and stuff. But like I suppose those two models don't really have the robes. They've got the leather straps, and I think that looks probably a little bit better. But and I am a fan of the static kind of pose. But if you go along to the next one after this one, the guy with the bare head there, like yeah, he looks very kind of very heavy from the waist
you
down.
mean
Like he's
like,
not
yeah, like
going anywhere.
funky and heavy, like not
Yeah.
very agile?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah,
Mm,
slight issues, but like I think there's still a massive upgrade on what we had. So very happy to see them.
yeah, super cool, right? I think,
Yeah.
oh, here we go. So we've got that's the Caladius
Hmm.
coming in plastic as well. So no more warpage issues on those two sort of like prows of the hull. I mean, these
Yeah.
um, these tanks kind of like catamaran-esque,
Yeah. Yeah.
right, with their like two individual sort of sections to the hull.
Yeah.
Resin presents, a bunch of challenges, especially to maybe someone who's not that experienced with working with resin kits like that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, to your amusement, Kieran, this kit's probably like 400 pieces rather than one for the turret, two for each side, and one for the middle. So,
Yeah. I was
um,
I was just thinking like as you were talking about warpage that I'd still be getting the resin versions. I think if I got some of
yeah,
these.
well, buy them up while you can.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
And save yourself on that building time. But yeah, these are just very similar to the redesigns that we've seen with what they've done in the past with the marine tanks and the solar
Yeah.
vehicles. It looks fine. It looks
It
fine.
looks sick.
It's
Yeah.
great that there's not going to be any wobbly tanks anymore. And the two dreadnought patterns have also had the same treatment as well. So I think it looks like some of the ornamentation on the chest and the shoulder pads might be slightly different. That weapon,
Mhm.
that glaive weapon's also different as
Yeah.
well because it's got the same leaf shape aesthetic to the blade. I mean, I really like the old dreadnought weapon. I think it looks much better than this one. But they're just keeping that look consistent, right?
Hmm. I'm a big fan. I think
And
it looks great, and like the paint job they've done. They've it's painted well, but it's not really pushing things to the next level. Is it like I think once you add a bit more contrast into those golds, it'll really kind of pop a bit more. It's looking quite plasticky at the moment.
yep, and then we've got what's the other one? The Achilles. Yeah. with the sword and board option.
Yep. That
Now,
looks great.
the Shield Captain is probably my favorite of the release. What do you think?
Yeah, just look how that foot is like properly turned out. Like it's
Yeah.
it's got the leg pose that like I wish all those other Space Marines had. Um, yeah, it's really nice. I don't know how I don't know if the helmet is my favorite compared to some of the regular guard ones.
Hmm.
That's an easy like swap to do, but yeah, it looks like a really nice model. I don't know if I'd say it's like necessarily better than the regular guard models, but yeah, it looks good. I'll probably be getting one of these. I think. But I think I don't
Yeah,
know. I
yeah,
think I do
and
prefer some
having
of the
it more
regular
in
guard
like
models.
a relaxed sort of general pose as well, rather
Mm.
than a super action pose is a little bit refreshing too.
Hmm.
He looks a little bit more cash.
Yeah, which I'm a fan of. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, me too. I hope
yeah,
we see more characters sort of in this style rather than a full action pose all the time.
yeah. People complain about tactical rocks, but I reckon like often tactical rocks are the best poses. Like something a bit more static, especially for
Yeah,
commanders. Personally,
yeah.
that
The
cloak
detail in
is
this
that
shield is
cloak is
insane.
mental. Yeah,
The cloak is mental. The shield is mental. The inside of the shield is mental,
yeah.
with all the inscripted text on the inside there. You can see where the hand is. But yeah,
Oh mate,
amazing.
yeah.
It looks
Fuck.
great. It looks really fun to paint as well.
Yeah, they're like Emperor's Children just turned up to like 1,000. So good.
And then we've got the Venatari too. So not just the infantry, but the jump infantry as well.
Hmm.
These guys have
Yeah,
probably had the biggest change, I'd say. They've moved
yeah,
away from the more angular, segmented leg armor,
yeah,
and their chest has been redesigned as well. The rebreather has also been redesigned, and it looks like the buckler has too.
yeah,
Um, but still super dynamic, still borrowing poses from the existing resin kit. Um, and it looks like the wings have had a little bit of a change up. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of the wings.
yeah.
They seem a little bit clunky. Obviously, they serve no real sort of function. Or if they do, let me know down below. But
Yeah.
I think these guys could look just as good, maybe with the wings left off. But I don't want to be too controversial now.
Oh man, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I don't mind the wings to be honest, but apart from the wings, these are my favorite custodes models. I reckon. Like, and the wings aren't even that
Even
bad.
now in the current range.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too. Me
I think
too.
so. Yeah. Um, and yeah, like I think the wings do look too chunky. That's like if they were a bit sleeker. Like these guys are the most high tech Imperial force there is. They've got all of
Mm.
the forbidden tech from the dark ages of technology and all of that. Their war gear is designed by the Emperor himself. I think it should look a little bit sleeker. Um, but apart from that, like these guys are fucking baller. Like the actual bodies, the different heads, the different weapons. Yeah, they look amazing. If I did custodes, I'd definitely get some of these. I haven't seen a good photo of the bucklers yet. They all can seem to be
Yeah,
front on,
I'm
so I
just
can't see the actual design. But the old bucklers were fantastic. I used a couple of those on my Emperor's Children. So yeah,
yeah, that's probably the best one there on the left.
yeah, and you can't see anything. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, more grav
yeah,
tanks and of course the Coronis grav carrier as well.
yeah,
So that's nearly all their vehicles. I know they've got the Palisade little speeders that are
yeah,
yet to transition into plastic, and they've got the
yeah,
dropship as well, which I imagine may never come to plastic unless we start seeing some plastic Astartes flyers first.
yeah, yeah. That'd be interesting actually. But look, they've got like a Liber Custodes here, which they didn't previously have. They were in like the Talons
Yes.
PDF. So it'd be interesting
Mm.
to see if that's like just an exact reprint or if they're any rules changes to that. Like I don't imagine there probably will be, but that'll be interesting to see. And I'm guessing that
I think
it won't include the sisters and the assassins now. It will just be straight custodes in that book.
well, it says here that it details the custodians themselves along with Sisters of Silence
Okay, there
and
you
an
go. Like,
addendum that covers the agents.
okay, all right. So yeah, so I was wrong there. Then
So
they've
I
called
don't
it
know why they've called
Lever
it Leave a
Custodes instead
Custodes
of
then if it
Talons.
includes Sisters of
Yeah,
Silence.
yeah, interesting, interesting.
What is going to be interesting is to see if the sisters units in this Liber
Mm,
um, um, are still sort of present from what we know, like
yeah,
the sisters on jet bikes, the pursuer squads, and that sort of stuff, like rules for things that we don't have models for yet. I'm going to be
yeah,
super interested to see if they carry those rules over, because if they do, it's probably a big clue as to what's to come. And I would love to see sisters redesigned and
yeah,
for that range to be fleshed out even more, because they're a lot more interesting and a lot more varied than what their current model range alludes to.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And like to be fair, like they're more active than the custodes in like the heresy in general, and in the scouring as well. So they're a force that kind of fits you know more easily into a lot of loyalist armies as an allied detachment. So I'd definitely be keen to see some new sisters models. I reckon there'd be a huge, massive take up for them. Like a lot of people have been looking forward to some new sister designs and new units for a long, long time. So I reckon that'd be like super popular if Games Workshop ever did get around to delivering those for us.
Yeah, I'm resisting very, very hard about buying a bunch of custode stuff and letting it sit there and eventually starting some. I mean, they're an
Yeah,
army that's been on my radar for a very, very, very long time. And now to have some better models to execute that idea with,
yeah,
I'm in danger, pretty much.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I
I'm pretty
think
tempted
I'm
to.
gonna have to buy some and paint some up soon.
Yeah,
Maybe in the second half of the year. We've got some hobby projects to get done first. Don't want to butterfly too much.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But that's it for the Heresy previews. What was
yeah.
your favorite part or favorite model from that preview, Kieran? What
Oh,
are you most
that's a tough.
excited about? Put it that way.
I think just like the basic custodes, right? I think the basic
Yeah,
custodes. We didn't show it, but the Zinch sorcerer from AOS is really nice as well. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
I think the basic custodian
Like
guard.
That Farseer is really nice. When we're not going to show it now, but that Farseer was really nice too. I liked
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it was all right. Yeah, yeah.
I love our differing opinions. It's great.
No, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's like I think there are better Eldar models. Yeah. Um, but yeah, basic custodian guard. I want to see what's possible with the pirates, the space pirates, but I think yeah, oh man, I'm torn again now what to do. I was thinking Sons of Horus, and now I'm thinking got to do some loyalist marines so that I can have some custode allies, but I don't know what the hell
Oh, the plot
which
thickens
legion
again.
I would do.
By the
But
time you choose something, the edition's going to be over.
yeah, I know I'd be ready for fourth edition, man. That's how it goes.
Oh God.
Yeah,
All right, that's going to close out our show. It's been quite a long one this time. So for
yeah,
anyone who wants to see extra content from Kieran and I,
yeah,
make sure you head over to the Patreon, which is patreon.com/powerfist. Like we mentioned earlier in the show, we've got new tutorials dropping very soon, including that Salamanders one.
yeah. Looking forward to
And
that.
a whole bunch of, we're slowly fostering a community over there on Patreon. It's great. People get
Mhm.
involved. We answer as many questions as possible. So it's going great. If you are curious, definitely check it out. Anything else to add before we close out the show?
Not really. No, I'm looking forward to seeing that salamander tutorial. That's been highly requested. and I'm pretty keen to see
I will get
it
it.
myself.
I
So
will promise to get it done as quick as I can.
no pressure, but yeah, looking forward to it. So yeah, check out the Patreon. I'll also be getting the Night Lords tutorial up there at some stage. So yeah, plenty more to come. Hop on board, and yeah, hope to see you there.
Done with that, Kieran. We'll see everyone next time. I'll see you next time.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hardcore Heresy.